Hello, Living Flow friends. Natalie here. And Suka. We're going to try to be good today, right? Let's talk about wrists. So here's the deal. Sun salutations and vinyasas do involve these joints. So today we're just going to talk about the importance of your wrist, your finger joints, maybe even go up to the elbows. Little short, little sequence. What to do, right? So I had a fractured wrist and I couldn't do weight bearing for felt like forever, and still sometimes it acts up. So, but I couldn't stop doing yoga. So there's definitely ways you don't have to put any weight bearing on your wrist. But in the game of doing sun salutations, let's talk about what are options. So one, right, we want to make sure the hands are spread. When we have our hands like this, the bones come closer together, and it's really not a broad foundation. So it puts more pressure onto those supportive joints. So if you think about you're building a house, the foundation has to be stable in order for the rest of the house to be stable. It's got to be a solid foundation. So think about that when you're doing your vinyasas. And we're going to just speak pretty much today about what to play with in down dog and plank. We'll get into the shoulders more in the next video, but let's just focus on the wrists. What happens if you can't put weight on the wrists? Don't do the vinyasa. You might not even do down dog. Maybe it's as simple as stepping back, putting your knees down and breathing. Or if you're working on, correcting an injury or strengthening an injury, maybe 5 breaths here. It's just working the wrist. Sometimes it's just nice to sit. And then how do you get to the top of the mat? You'll come on up and you can step. So if I was doing a vinyasa, reach back, 1, 2, no hands. There it is. Work my wrists. Interlace. So many things that you can play with. And then you just step forward. There it is. And that's what these videos are, to empower you to take ownership of your practice, whether you're at home or in a class, to have the confidence to make the shift. Now, say it's just uncomfortable on your wrist. Handy dandy blocks. Now, these are cork thin blocks. You can use the push-up blocks. You can use cans. What I love them for is it allows me to grip them. So some of them are a little more thicker, but this allows me to wrap my hand around the narrow part of the block. So I can literally hold it. So it disperses the weight on my wrist bone a little differently than if I am flat. It's actually a gripping. When you're gripping the fingers, you're engaging the muscles of your hands to create a little more support of the forearm. And so lots of different ways you can grip these. One, I have them up a little higher. I'm a big fan of this. Not everybody is. You have to be willing to grab the blocks and commit to them. And I'll go through whole classes on my blocks. Right? Down dog. Plank. You even go through chaturanga. We'll play with that a little more in the next video. Just feeling all the space that you have. Bonus, you've got extra inches to step the leg forward. So that was on the medium. You can play with it a little bit on the lower one. I'll even use the inside corner of the block as a pressure point at the base of my thumb. So once again, kind of stepping back, plank, take it back, step forward. You've got lots of space. Lovely. Good. And then there's the wedges. Some of the studios have the wedges. You want to play with the wedge. you can just work it on your mat. So what that does is it puts more fresh pressure into the fingertips and less in to the palm and the wrist. So you're going to put your hand on the front edge of what you've rolled up. So maybe a ½ inch or an inch. You spread the fingers, and also you get a nice little padding there. Breathe. Inhale forward, and come into your plank. And then back, and when you step forward, you just step in front of that little rolled up area. It might unroll, or it might, depending on your mats. Right? Your hands will come down. You can step the leg back, your down dog, your plank. There we go. Those are a few of the props. Like I mentioned, people love the push-up bar if you have them at home. Those little push-up handles are fun. Some people make blocks that actually have those in, so you can grip the handle. Things to play with in your own practice. Now, if you do not need props, here's another thing I want you to have kind of the willingness to explore. For years and years, we were taught the crease of your wrist paralleled the crease of the front edge of your mat for the perfect down dog and plank. Play with it. Spend the next 5 minutes, wherever you are, get your mat, and explore down dog with your fingers wide, almost off the mat. Breathe. Take 8 to 12 breaths. Then find neutral. 8 to 12 breaths. And then maybe even explore. I don't suggest this, like in a lot of practice, but maybe just explore the sensation of what it is like to turn the fingertips in. Now this tends to put a little more wrist or weight into the base of the thumb, for me even into my elbows, but it's an interesting experience, and that's what yoga is about, to experience. And then just play with different widths, taking the fingers nice and wide. Another variation some people like is to grip the mat, like you're pulling it away. So have some down dog and plank play right here. Just for the next few minutes, just go from down dog to plank with that work in the wrist. And then when you come out, just sit. Hold the wrists, appreciate these joints all the way to the fingertips. And have a blessed day. Get into your body and play. All right, that's it for now. Hopefully, give me your feedback. Let me know. If you have any questions, reach out. Have a beautiful day.